The previous phenomenon was when you go to school, you get good grades, you go to the town, you search for good job, you stay there. Now when you look back to your rural area, you say, I don't want to go back there because there's poverty. Yeah, that was the issue around the rural life before. People went on to town, went on abroad. They don't want to come back because when they think about the rural life, they think about bad things. Now, I want to think like this one. A parent with 5 children doing agriculture in the rural area, send all those children to school, some O level, some A level, some to college, some to university, using the resources from the village. Now, when you go to town now, you say in the rural area, there is poverty. But they were able to raise 5 children from the rural area. Now, when you're getting money now, when you are now in the urban area, you invest your money in the urban area. You buy a stand, your residential stand, you pay bills to the local authority, you pay bills to the power suppliers, and all those money that's circulating in the urban area. Then you come back in the village, you realize that the area that was productive those years is no longer productive. You also realize that the roads there are poorer than when you were staying there when you were growing up. You realize sometimes some of the rivers that we're using, they have now dried up. They're now filled with rivers here. You may also realize that the infrastructure, the few infrastructure that was there is now deteriorated. Then it's now also a time that you realize that rural life is more even now worse than before. But do you think that the rural life is that poor? Do you think it's the rural that is poor, or is the people who were supposed to make it bright, who have abandoned it, who has taken it resources from it, who have now invested in other places? People talk about Africa, that Africa have got resources that have developed other countries, resources that have developed other continents. Is it not also about our rural environment, our rural communities? Maize from the rural area goes to the town. Cotton from rural areas goes to the town. Gold from rural areas is going to urban areas. Tobacco from Hurungwe is going to Karoi, is going to Harare, is going to other countries. But when you look back to the place where those resources are coming from, you may see that development is not that high. And sometimes you may say, may this authority come here and develop the area. Yes, of course. But now I want to talk about your personal development, our personal investment. Yes, the authorities can come and bring a road here. But what about the industries? Huh? Now, I'm, I'm coming now with this idea now. Yeah, if we come here in the rural area and double the production, modernize the production that was being done here by our parents. You know, our parents used it to sometimes have let's say 10 cattle, 15 goats, some chickens there. This is the resource that they were using for us to go to school. Now, when you are grown up, you see that my parents were doing it in a subsistent way. But what about now if we do it in a commercial way? We come here, we do cattle fattening here, we do uh, mass production of chickens, roadrunner, goats here. Then we put butcheries maybe in urban areas. We now take money from those people who are in urban areas. We bring back money to the village. Because now if you do production in the village, what it means is that it's the people who are in the village who are getting jobs. If you are doing skinning of those cattle in the village, it's the people who are in the village who are getting jobs. Then now what we are going with in the urban areas is only meat, right? So we have got a shop in the village where we sell meat, a butcher that sells beef, meat from goat and sheep, chickens there. Then when we get money there, we take it back to the village. We invest in cattle pens, we invest in nice houses in village, we invest in lighting. We also pay our workers in the village better salaries. What it means is also improvement in rural areas. What it means also is that we have need of a better transport system from the village to urban areas. It means also people who are in rural areas, they have no need now to go to the to urban areas because they now know that we have got our jobs here. Huh? How is it like this one? Now, if we are doing maize production in the rural areas, instead of going with all our maize to millers in the urban areas, we now need to have our milling uh, system in our village, packaging in our village. Then we load our trucks delivering in the urban area. What it means is that we are now taking resources from those people who are employed by the government, people who are in the financial system in the urban areas, people who are in the administrative system, taking their resources, going back with it to the raw areas. What it means is that the rural life will be enjoyable. We need to invest back in our rural areas. What it means is that those people who are investing in urban areas, we need to see that there's opportunity for their services to be here so that we collaborate. Like for example, we need to see some banks coming in to the rural areas saying, if there is production like this one, we need to set up banks in rural areas. Production first. This is what I am thinking. Right. Yeah. Now, for those who are doing peri peri, miri piri, we can do production here because we have got a lot of space. I will show you the space that we have. Big space here. The space that is available here in the rural areas is cheap because rural land is a communal land. It's not for sale. What it means that we get that land on zero cost, right? After getting that land at zero cost, the bills that goes also to the local authorities is very small and is also paid per year, not monthly as it is in urban area, right? After getting that land, the land is big. Number one, is cheap, and also regulations in the rural areas, they are limited. You can put your structure there, your cattle pen, your area for chickens, for goats, without those strict regulations like no, you need to have three courses building. No, in rural areas, no one will come and say, your standard of building a house is like this one. No. So you can do your production here. And I've heard of some of the urban authorities where now you need to have a first brick to build a house. But here in the rural areas, you can use farm brick, you can use pole, you can use thatch grass for a start. So starting in rural area is very cheap, very affordable. Yeah, very easy. You can try this one. If it's not working, you try another way, right? Also, if you come in invest in rural areas, labor is cheap in rural area. Labor itself. Why labor is cheap? Number one, it's not exploiting the local people, but um, you see, people come to work from the same village, from a short distance. There is no need for transporting your workers if you are in the village. So friends, so relatives, your neighbors, they come to help you. Themselves, they have got no much expensive expenses like in the city where there is need of transport, electricity, rentals, uh, uh, different bills in the urban areas. In the rural area, no such bills. So even the wages they demand is limited. Their money will be enough making a personal development because food is cheap already in the rural area. So they don't need to buy food every month. There is no need to pay a lot of bills every month. So if they're coming to work for you, if you give them a money that is equivalent to the money that the people in the urban areas are getting, they will do wonders, right? And the resources that we have here, other than space, other than land, is also cheap. The rivers that just flow here, if it is during the rain season, water is free. Yeah, pour water is free. Yeah. You can dig your well, start to harvest your water there. If you put it's like a dam, you can harvest your water there. Huh? And if sometimes if you want to use some poles, you don't need to buy poles. You don't need to buy thatch grass. You just need to harvest it there. If you want, sometimes we are using river sand. If you are using quarry stones, it's available. Cheap if it is not free. Okay. Then also, if the production is taking place in the raw area, for example, you want to buy maize in the raw area, the maize itself will be cheap because you are taking it from the people who are doing production. Transport cost is so limited. So people from the same village can come with their farm produces to sell to you at a cheaper price because production itself was cheap. There is no additional cost like maybe you are buying it from, maybe you are doing production in Harare, then you are buying your produce from Gokwe, you are buying produce from Hurungwe. It will come with cost. But if you are doing production in Gokwe, the resources will be cheaper, right? So what you need to do now is to go to the area where the resources are and start doing production there. Uh, eh, think about coming to Urungwe, start to doing peri production. You do your peri there, you harvest it. You can also go an extra mile of making some products like chili. You are now making it a final product, adding value there in the raw area, package, doing some packaging there. Eh? try to think about setting up a big industry. Yeah, doing a packaging of peri in raw areas, distributing in urban areas now at cheap price. Licensing of shops in raw areas is very cheap. So let's do it. Let's do it. I'm in Urungwe right now. I'm in Urungwe. This is Urungwe that I'm showing you here. So let's go, guys. Let's share our experience in different areas that we are now. I'm telling you some of the opportunities that are available in Urungwe here. I was staying in Urungwe for a long time. Now I went to school. Doing some activities in the urban areas there, but I'm realizing now that there are a lot of opportunities that are in the rural areas, and we need to embrace it now, guys. Rural life can give you money, can give you a lot of money if we take opportunities now, not later, right? If you are doing business in town, try to check out if you can do it in rural areas. Expand. You can continue in urban area, but also expand in rural areas, so that you realize later that more profit is coming from the rural areas. Take money from the people who are in urban areas. People who have what idea of buying things at inflated prices. How can you buy that small piece of chicken at $1, 2 pieces? How can you buy a 1 kg of beef at $4, at $5? These are inflated prices. So let's do production here in rural areas. Sell those things to people who are in urban areas. People in urban areas are making money. I used to buy things at higher prices. So let's come back here in the rural area. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. No, guys, thank you so much for supporting Mr. Lonak. This is just an idea. I'm not mocking anyone, but I'm just want to shake ourselves, think otherwise. This is what I'm thinking aloud. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel, Mr. Lonak, Inspired to Inspire. Guess who inspired me? Kundai Chitima, Calvin Buriot, Miss Trudy, Wodemaya, Tayo Aina. So now, let's go around. I'm going to be moving around, showing the places, speaking the African stories on an African perspective, taking you on the African villages, telling you the African stories on an African perspective. Because some people who are not in Africa, they can tell you Africa is like this one. People who are not in village may say village is like this one, and they may be telling you the village experience of 1960, but this is 2014. Let's move around. Let's show each other what is happening. If you want me to come to your village, guys, if you want me to come to your rural area, please hit my inbox on Facebook, also on my email. My email is lonakzim@gmail.com.
Security isuti cha kuchengeta ini makachengeteka uya makachengeteka hapana mupandiki anokona kudambura ukama weduneni nemeswega katsitsa kusarara pabasa unokona kuzorora uchizira kuti piri pabasa rakadzika kumva kune kunzira imeri makurusa kwenda kune vanhu vazhinji iso tinotenderera kona yega takamira takagwinya tekinoloji yedu ndeyepamberi pakuchengeteka big lead security inozvita